Guys, welcome to Late Night Live, Black Scout Survival. Thanks for hanging out with me. Are you guys ready for World War III? Because that is what they're saying. Now, I know that sounds alarming, clickbait, you have it, but World War III has officially begun, Ukraine's ex-top general says. Grim outlook on the state of war. Again, World War III has already begun. Okay, so many people around the world are saying this. Now, I told you guys, we've been kind of covering this pretty heavily, but Biden admin gave Ukraine the green light just 2 months pre Donald Trump, who pretty much had already set up a ceasefire agreement, decided to allow Ukraine to send missiles into Russia. Okay. And 2 months prior to that, Russia had stated that if that happened, they would consider a nuclear level threat. And they changed their nuclear doctrine. Now, Ukraine just fired yesterday British-made Storm Shadow missiles into Russia. This is a sign of NATO escalation in the Ukraine-Russia war, as well as the day previous to that, U.S. missiles, ATACMS, were fired into Russia. Now, Ukraine used 8 U.S. missiles, and apparently they say they were successful in hitting an ammunition depot deep inside Russia. Russia fired 2 interceptors at the incoming missiles and may have intercepted some ATACMS, but the attack apparently was still successful in hitting its target. Now, again, remember, Russia made the claim no missiles hit anything, and all of them were intercepted. Now, the UK and France supplied longer range Storm Shadow missiles were to be used only inside the Ukrainian borders. The missiles have a range of about 250 kilometers, 155 miles, which is slightly shorter range than the American ATACMS. Now, Vladimir Putin announced that Russia has the right to use weapons against military facilities of countries who allow their weapons to be used against ours. What does that mean? Listen to what he says. I'm going to play the video. The right to use our weapons against military facilities of countries who allow their weapons to be used against ours. Now, Fox News put out a video earlier tonight stating that Putin is saying that he may strike U.S. military bases. Now, that's very alarming. You want to see a map of where Russia can hit with nuclear targets? Man, a lot of U.S. military bases within this realm, okay? Now, Putin launched some new ballistic missiles at a military production facility in Ukraine. Putin said this was a response to the U.S. and UK letting Ukraine hit targets inside of Russia with advanced weapons. And again, he warned that Russia was prepared for escalation and hinted at using more advanced weapons, including hypersonic missiles that can carry nuclear payloads and travel at Mach 10 speeds, a speed that he claims the U.S. cannot intercept. I'm not a missile guy, so I can't say that. Maybe some of you guys worked in that realm in the military and you can add some clarification. But I'm going to play the video now of Vladimir Putin.
As a response to the use of US and UK manufactured weapons, the Russian forces have carried out a combined strike on one of the military-industrial facilities in Ukraine. And this included the test of a novel intermediate-range Russian missile system. A ballistic missile with a non-nuclear hypersonic payload was used. We see that the United States and their allies are now considering and has successfully tested their capabilities to deploy advanced missile systems in different parts of the world. and their exercises routinely include the use of such weapons. Russia has unilaterally refused to deploy intermediate and small-range missiles until we see similar weapons deployed by the United States in a region of the world. The use of the novel system, which was essentially an operational test, was carried out in response to the decisions made by the United States and their allies. And the further actions will be considered and decided based on what we see from them. The further course of action will be determined based on the threats to the security of the Russian Federation. We believe that we have the right to use our weapons against military facilities of countries who allow their weapons to be used against ours. And in case of an escalation, we will act as decisively in a MIRA fashion. The ruling elites of the countries are nurturing plans to use their military contingents against Russia should be warned. When choosing measures to be used in response, such as the use of systems that was tested recently in Ukraine, will certainly include warnings to civilians to clear the zones that will be targeted, and we will certainly do this in a transparent fashion. And we do not have any fears that it will reduce the effectiveness of those systems, because there is no way to counteract a missile that flies at 10 Mach, which is 2.5 to 3 kilometers per second. Existing anti-missile systems and the anti-missile systems deployed by the United States and Europe cannot intercept such missiles. It is impossible. So, once again, it is not Russia, but the United States who have destroyed the system of international security. And they are trying to preserve their hegemony and stoking a global conflict. We have always preferred, and we still prefer, to resolve our disagreements using peaceful means, but we are prepared for any scenario. And if anyone has any doubts, they shouldn't. There will.
So you heard the man. Now the thing is I think it's very notable what he said at the end. He's not wanting to escalate, but the thing is what you're saying is this man being backed into a corner, painted into a corner, and being a leader of a country. And I'm gonna get to this in a moment more in depth, but being the leader of a country, you cannot be viewed as weak. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let me jump to some other things here for a moment. Now, this is very scary here. Secret documents were revealed Wednesday that Berlin has been making plans for how it could help deploy as many 800,000 NATO troops, including Americans. This document is known as Operation Deutschland. I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. A 1,000-page plan to prepare Germany for the possibility of a World War III scenario. Now, U.S. officials said the direct involvement of U.S. troops is the most significant escalation in the war since its start. Now, Germany, NATO, this is going back to February of 2024. You see 26 February 2024. Germany, NATO rule out sending troops to Ukraine as Russia rebukes Macron, because Macron remarked about sending French to Ukraine. But now they put out a 1,000-page document talking about this. Now, I want you to see this article here that just came up. November 21st, 2024. World War III is now Trump's to lose. President-elect Donald Trump, true defining moment is coming. Future historians likely will not judge him based on his 2 impeachments, felony convictions, or his ever-present hyperbole, but rather whether or not he wins World War III. This is what the media says. And let me tell you something about the media. What I've noticed about the media is that they always have inside intelligence information. And it's scary that they're stating that he may win or lose World War III. They're escalating it. Someone's saying they're escalating it. And a lot of people say, oh man, Putin's just saber rattling. The problem is, guys, is that we're just a few months away from Trump getting in office. Now, just a few months ago, they're saying, no, we would never send troops. And now they're kind of entertaining it. Many are saying, if you look online, that Americans, leftists, Trump would allow Russian expansion, hence why they want to push to go kinetic prior to him getting in office. What I feel, my gut feeling, my opinion, is that we can expect escalation. As Zelensky says, firing into Russian territory is their path to victory. Donald Trump met with Zelensky, right? They've already essentially negotiated that everyone was going to come to a peace deal. And now you're going to decide to fire into Russia. That is escalation, which will paint Russia in a corner. Any leader of any country, especially if civilians are harmed, would make it a non-negotiable, in my opinion. And even you heard Vladimir Putin stating that he would warn civilians to leave areas that he planned on targeting, because that is something that if you do, I think any world leader would respond with fierce retribution. Are Russians being warned about civilians prior to these ICBMs being launched into their territory? I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think they are. I hadn't heard that. And when you paint a world leader into a corner, I just don't feel like it's a bluff, guys. I just don't. This doesn't sit well with me at all. Especially, I feel like, to me, man, the Washington permanent, the deep state, would prefer nuclear war over Donald Trump becoming president. I mean, did you guys not see the rhetoric they've been spilling for 4 years? The rhetoric the past 6 months? They would be willing to, in my opinion, to burn it all down than to let him get in charge. When he's looking at the people that he's assigning to these various positions that are not deep state agents, it doesn't look good. They're willing to burn it all down, in my opinion. It's scary. I don't want nuclear war. I don't want world war. Man, I'd hate for them to call my old behind up to go fight. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, not at all. I'm not fighting in somebody else's war. But anyway, I know a lot of you guys, veterans, are like, nah, not happening. Not. They can't even retain people right now, dude. I was talking to a buddy yesterday, and he was asking me, just, he's not military at all, and he's asking me about military life. Dude, the retention, especially in the Marine Corps, no, that life is for young man. That life is for a young man. That's why they're talking about promoting people to gunnery sergeant out the gate, to get them in there with college educations, because they have no one with experience, no one with wisdom. Because, dude, it's tough life. Like per se Navy SEALs, like their training is hard for the 6 months, and then it gets pretty easy. They're kind of, the Marine Corps is hard the entire time you're there. It never gets easier. You know what I'm saying? But and I know a lot of other guys, 82nd Airborne, Rangers, like, your life is always hard. You know what I mean? A lot of infantry guys, blue cords, your life is always hard. The retention is just not there these days, guys. The problem is that we have a new generation, and they're not wanting to do hard things. Everybody wants a participation trophy, but I don't feel good about it. Listen, I've not done a deep study on Vladimir Putin, But what I do believe is he's a man that if you F around, you're going to find out. I just feel that way. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. He just doesn't seem. The thing is, people say saber rattling all the time. Listen, people saber rattle. You go get in a street fight, people are going to saber rattle because the thing is that you're warning. You ever seen? I used to have roosters and chickens and stuff and stuff, and roosters will put on a show before they get into it. Okay, because no one wants to get into this kinetic stuff, so they put on a show. Do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? And then when it's go time, it's go time. You get painted in a corner, man. You got to respond. When you're a leader of a country, people look to you for protection and all these sort of things. They're going to do whatever it takes, right? Especially to save face in a leadership position. It's scary. I hated to see this stuff today. I've been doing videos covering this stuff, but today has not been a good day for covering this stuff. Like for real. I don't have a good feeling at all. And I wanted to share it because I'm sure a lot of you, especially veterans, are looking at this and saying, man, this is not good. This is not good. Anyway, guys, before World War III, we got the hoodies in today. They will be on the site shortly. I was not expecting this to happen. The state of the world, that is. But anyway, I'll put pictures up. It's got the flag tee on the like the flag tee graphic on the back, flag on the sleeve. It's called the BSS Tactical Hoodie. Coyote, olive drab with coyote markings to kind of be a little subdued in case you're wearing this out whenever we're cooking squirrels out by the fire, trying to evade like Red Dawn scenario. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And let me hit these. John, appreciate you, brother. And Zero. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, Zero, as well. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Terrible information to share, man. I wish it could have been. I did a motivational video the other day. Some of you guys watched it. You should go watch it. It's not really motivational. It's just some wisdom that I've gained in life. And it's something I mentor people on. And I just did a video on it. Not many people watched it, but I did get a lot of actual people email me about they haven't been getting notified. Now, the thing is, I want to say this. 2 days ago, I got a video removed, or maybe a week ago, I'm not sure. I talked about it in the video because it happened like real time. I got the notification. But the video, this is the second video I've had removed. And I talked about a certain country that you can't talk about. And not that I was even talking about it terrible. I've said worse things in real life about these folks. But I mentioned this country and certain things that happened, and they found the most minute thing to remove my video about, speaking about this country. But, so apparently I'm probably like on a shadow ban list again. So you're probably not getting my content. Anyway, guys, check it out. Go check it out. I do appreciate you hanging out with me. These shirts will be on the site soon. Grab them up. They're limited. They're not many because hoodies are a pain to deal with. But I just wanted to share that. A lot of people ask for them. We will have zip ups in a camo pattern later, but get these because they're going to go fast. We don't have many. But I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And hopefully, man, we'll have a video tomorrow the way the world's going. Stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous, guys. Take